Okay guys, thank you very much. This is ProGraphics once again, and today I'm going to teach you on how to blur backgrounds in Photoshop. Please, this technique might look a little bit different from some of the techniques that we have seen, so please take more attention so that you will really understand the process of which you're about to take off. Guys, if you have not subscribed to my channel, try your best to subscribe to my channel as it pushes us to do more videos. Okay, so let's proceed with today's work. So what you are going to do is you press Ctrl J to duplicate your image, then you go to select, then you come to subject. So what is going to happen over here is that it's automatically going to calculate and select the edges of your subject. So let's wait for the selecting of the subject. Okay, I think it's done now. So after it's selected, those that have followed me for some time, or anytime that you do selection of subject, we always make sure that what we have selected is always on point. So let's zoom in and check the edges of this image. By pressing the space bar, you'll be able to zoom out and check if the edges are okay. So okay guys, so let's zoom out. Then what we are going to do is we want this side to also be in the selection. So I'll take my laser tool and I select this one, then I'll just draw a circle like this. It will just go back because I don't want the cassava to be blurred, so that's why we are doing that. So let me select here. Okay, so let's zoom out, let's select here too, and I think this one too, the selection is good. So what you are going to do is, the next step is let's zoom here a little bit so that you see what we are going to do. So what you are going to do, you go back to select, then you go to modify, then you go to expand. So what you are going to do, you are going to expand the selection by 5 pixels. So I'll press 5 and press enter. So when you look at it very well, you realize that there have been a shift between the selection that was made at first and the current selection. Okay, so I'll tell you the reason why we did this modification of the expansion whilst we proceed. Okay, so let's zoom out. Then after you have selected, you go to edit, then you come to content aware field. Yes, you select that. Guys, follow me step by step and follow the procedure. Now you can see that some portions are green and some portions are also not green, and what you are going to do, you are going to paint the portions that are green. So you come and click on this plus, so that you make the places that you want it to blur, we paint it so that that portion will also become blurred. So automatically we can see that with this method, what it does is it take your subject from the background and make the background different from the subject. Okay, so let's proceed. So what you are going to do is you click output. Sometimes if this is the first time that you are doing it, it will either be on current or new layer. But what you are going to do is you want it to duplicate, so we click on duplicate layer and click on OK. So let's see what will happen over here. It's doing its own processing. Guys, follow the steps and you really enjoy. And when you do this kind of blur and you do it very well, especially when it comes to selection, you might think, if someone might think that it is a lens of 1.4 or 1.2 that you used in shooting that particular image to make the your depth of field blur. No, because you did in post-production. Guys, don't worry. What is happening is that you can see that now we have our background with the selection. So you click on this one, then you bring it up. That's the duplicate. It has done the duplicate. Then you come and click on your layer mask. You mask this one. After you have masked, you come down to this, your background. So you can see that this is your subject, let me undo it. So you can see your subject has been selected from the background. So this is your background now, so you can do whatever you want to do to this background. Okay, so this is our subject. Now we are going to change the background. Let me name it background. You are going to change the background. Okay, yes, we are going to change the background to a smart object. So you left click, then you go to convert to smart object. Now the reason why we are converting it to smart object is that anytime that we apply any filter or any effect to this particular image, we can go and do changes to it. That's why we didn't deal with the rasterized one, but we are dealing with the what do you call it, smart object. Okay, so after we have converted this smart object, let's come back to the mask. Remember, after we did the selection, we want to modify and we expanded it by 5 pixels. So what you are going to do is we are going to remove that 5 pixel so that the selection that we did will come back to the original selection. So we'll come to let's select our selection, then we come to filter, then you come to others, then you come to minimum. Please follow it very well. You select your mask, you come to filter, then you come to others, then you come to minimum. So remember, we did it by, let me zoom in so that when the changes happen you see. So remember, we expanded it by 5 pixels, and here we are minusing it by 5 pixels. So you press on 5 and you can see now. Let me look at the actual image. So let's see, it was at 1, so you can see there's a change over here. Look at the 5, you can see it has reduced. It has reduced. If you watch over here, look at it very carefully. Let me press 1, you can see it has gone up, but remember, by 5, as you see, it has come down. So we just click OK. So what this particularly does is you will not see the difference between the edges and the background. If there have been any selection of the background, you wouldn't see, because when you even zoom into this image, you can see a little bit of the hair, but it's not visible because it's on the background. That is the reason why we did the expansion and the minimum. Okay, so now we have selected it. Now let's apply our blur filter to the background. What you are going to do after we have done with this, what you are going to do is you come and select your background, then you go to filter, then you come to blur gallery, then you come to tilt shift. That's what I use. So you just click on the tilt shift, then you increase your blur, to how you want it, how blur you want it to look like. So you just click here and drag it down. So as I'm dragging, you can see that the background is becoming blur. Then you drag it down. Okay, so guys, you can see the difference. So let's look at the before and the after. So before, after, before, after, before, after. So you can reduce the blur or increase the blur. All depends on how you want it to look like. I think 99 pixels or 106 pixels will be good for me for this particular image. So I just click OK. Now when you look at the depth of field, you might think that you used 1.2 or 1.4 length, or 1.8, even 1.8, but this one is f4 that I used 70 to 200 millimeter lens. That's what I used in shooting this image. But the blur that we are seeing over here, it's not because of the lens that I use, but because I blurred it in post-production. So guys, this is what we have gotten so far. So before, after, before, after. So let me group this one. If I even take this one, you can see that we have blurred the background. So group this one, then let's see, before, this is the before and this is the after, before and the after. Okay guys, thank you very much. If you saw this video to be of a help to you, please try your best to subscribe to my channel and also introduce your friends to this channel. Thank you very much and have a blessed day. Bye bye.